Hi everybody, welcome back to Everyday Thrifty Living. I'm Cass and we're here as always.
Hi everybody.
And if you're new to the channel, hope you stick around, hit that subscribe button, click the bell to notified every time we upload a video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope everything is doing well. Thank you so much for watching, clicking in, tuning in, checking us out, joining us, do the whole YouTube stuff. You know. And today is a video that I'm going to bore Odie out. She's gonna get bored out of her mind. But in front of me right here is two piles of books. I am doing a book haul. There's a whole bunch of books here. I'm gonna get right straight into it. So these are books that some came as a couple for Christmas. The rest came from Amazon, and the rest also came from a little lending library that I was able to procure a stack of. That I am still in the hole. I'm still in the hole, actually, technically. Let's get right into it. So for Christmas, I know we're in March, but Odie bought me a couple of books for Christmas. So these are the two behemoths right here. So this is American Psychosis, a historical investigation of how the Republican Party went crazy by David Korn, who is the co-author of Russian Roulette. And this book just basically talks about how they go from, I think they start from Nixon and just work their way up to today, and how the Republican Party has just switched their values, so on and so forth. She's already telling me to move on. So she's
You haven't read it.
No, I know. The next book is by Elizabeth Williamson, and this is Sandy Hook, An American Tragedy and the Battle for the Truth. And I know Odie is just desperate for me to read this book after everything that's been going on. This basically goes from Sandy Hook to
Because I'm a little sick and tired of these stinking conspiracists out there saying this never happened.
Yeah, so
that's an insult to these families and the poor lives that were lost. How could you stoop so low? I mean,
so this goes from Sandy Hook all the way through even into what happened on January 6th, the attempted insurrection on that day. So it's like an all-encompassing how this event led to a lot more disinformation campaigns, all that type of stuff. So it's going to be a very, very good read. I can already tell them all the way. The next few books all came from Amazon. They were purchased from Amazon over the last few weeks, few months, and let's get right into it. I do only have one nonfiction here from Amazon, and that is...
Stop moving the table!
I apologize. That is The Devil in the White City, Murder, Magic, and Madness at the Fair That Changed America. This is by Erik Larson, and pretty much this is a nonfiction bringing Chicago circa 1893 to vivid life. Erik Larson's spellbinding bestseller intertwines the true tale of two men, the brilliant architect behind the legendary 1893 World's Fair, who I think Daniel Burnham, I think they're going to talk about, striving to secure America's place in the world, and the cunning serial killer who used the fair to lure his victims to their death. Combining meticulous research with nail-biting storytelling, Erik Larson has crafted a narrative with all the wonder of newly discovered history and the thrills of the best fiction. H.H. Holmes. So it's Burnham versus H.H. Holmes, which, if you don't know who H.H. Holmes is, he is considered to be America's first known.
He wrote Sherlock Holmes?
That's... No!
Okay.
That's some...
I threw her off. Now she's just trying to think of who wrote Sherlock Holmes.
I know the name.
Move on.
I know the... Anyway, H.H. Holmes is considered to be America's first serial killer. The next few books are all fiction, and this is called On What Grounds by Cleo Coyle. This is a coffee house mystery. I absolutely love coffee house mysteries. Arthur Conan Doyle. Yes, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote Sherlock Holmes. I knew it, but I completely forgot. So these types of books are like the Joanne Fluke style. They have recipes, and pretty much this woman works in a coffee shop or owns a coffee shop, and she finds, a murder. She finds a dead body, and she has to go and solve it.
Agatha Christie. No.
With her cat, I believe.
Angela Lansbury.
Yes, with her cat, and of course she has to be the one to solve it, and includes recipes and such. And this is a mass market paperback, which you don't know, mass market paperback are cheap on Amazon. They are like $7.99 or less. So if you're looking for books, always check that. This is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is part of the Reese Witherspoon book club. So pretty much an exclusive wedding on a remote... An exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. This, I think, is supposed to be a new take on And Then There Were None, where there's a killer on an island and they have to figure it out, like one of the best Agatha Christie.
Hey, a lot of people probably still haven't read that book.
I would love to reread Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None.
And Then There Were None to me is one of the most classic there is.
They made a video game out of it. We have played that. That was so much fun.
That was excellent. Yes.
Yeah. So the last book I have here, because I have another pile right in front of me, is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This is, I think, this is a Netflix movie. We have not seen the movie, so I don't know if I'm going to read the book, then watch the movie, or watch the movie, then the movie. Watch the book, watch the movie, then read the book.
The movie you've been wanting to see?
It's the one with Amy Adams. So, Anna Fox lived alone, a recluse in her New York City home, unable to venture outside. She spent her days drinking wine, maybe too much, watching old movies, recalling happier times, and of course, spying on her neighbors. Kind of like, sounds like that, Kristen Bell. I think they were making fun of that.
That sounds like you, except for the wine drinking.
You beast. Then the Russells move into the house across the way. A father, a mother.
She's more a vitamin water girl.
And their teenage son, the perfect family. But when Anna, gazing out her window one night, sees something she shouldn't, her world begins to crumble. And its shocking secrets are laid bare. What is real, what is imagined. Who is in danger, who is in control. And it's diabolically gripping thriller. No one and nothing is what it seems. So I have to figure out if I'm going to read the book first, then watch the movie, or watch the movie first, then
read the book first, then watch the movie.
I think I should read the movie, watch the movie first, then read the book.
Oh, move on.
So the last two books, these also came from Amazon as well. First we have The Night Shift by Alex Finlay.
The night what?
The Night Shift.
That's not what you said.
I said The Night Shift. The Night Shift.
It didn't sound like that.
Night Shift. Okay, so pretty much, takes place in two different timelines. We have New Year's Eve 99, 4 teenagers in a Blockbuster in New Jersey. One survives because the 3 are murdered, and then 15 years later, you have the exact same scenario happening, so the survivor of the first one has to team up with the survivor of the second one to figure out who's doing the killing type thing.
I mean, 15 years later, there's a Blockbuster still around?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ice cream store.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think Blockbuster went out of business.
So
wait a minute. The next one they meet up in the Payless shoe store.
So pretty much it looks like
a Sears.
So it looks like 2 perspectives, and I will be
a Toys R Us.
Be interesting to try it, read it. And the last one is a James Patterson novel, which is called Anne Shan Seraphin. 3 women disappear. Pretty much a guy is
Kmart.
Oh my God, is there Kmart still around?
That's all the ones I've been telling you are ones that have gone out of business.
I know that. So pretty much a guy is found dead, and there are 3 women in his life who've all gone missing: his wife, his personal chef, and his maid. And the detective has to figure out.
Wow. Did you have any books that are a little lighter? Like kind of a lot of like murder and mayhem.
They're all like that.
Oh, you mean the last 6 here, the ones you stole from the?
I did not. I am in. Okay. Anyway, and the cop has to figure out who did it and who done do it.
Yeah.
And the last 6, I am 3 in the hole still. I am 3 in the hole.
We have this little thing. It's like a
little lending library.
A lending library. You go in, there's a few books, and then you take one out. You put one in. She takes 4 out, brings 3 the next day, then takes 2, brings 1, takes 4.
I'm still 3 in the hole.
So she's like,
I'm still 3 in the hole. I have 3 more that I'm going to be putting back in, so don't worry. So the first book is called Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. Maria Semple. And this is pretty much something with the mother. She goes missing or something, and meltdown. And I believe this is they did a movie on this, and it was with Kate Blanchett, I believe. It was supposed to be a comedy, and this seems to be a really big best-selling book, actually. And takes place with letters and notes and all that stuff. So you got that. The next is a David Baldacci book, One Good Deed. And pretty much this is somebody who went to, it was 1949. He was released from prison on a crime he didn't do. Goes to a small town, and there's debts there's debts and grudges and such, and he has to try and find the real killer before they put him back in prison. And And I've read David Baldacci before. This it looks to be another quick read, just like a James Patterson, and I love a good quick read book. When there's like 80 chapters in a book, it goes by really fast for some reason. So we have one good deed. This one is called Try Not to Breathe by Holly Seddon. And for some reason, this looks to be one of those books that is part of a you're already bored out of your mind, aren't you?
I used to love to read. I mean, I taught you everything. I used to read to you, and I used to read like books a week. But I barely got time to scratch my butt.
So pretty much,
I don't have time to read anymore.
So we have a woman here. She survived an assault, and her life, she's just been paralyzed by it. Just barely doing the bare minimum. Just doing the bare minimum to get through the day. And then another woman is attacked years later, and speeds into action. And for some reason, it says Advanced Readers Edition. I don't know if this is the actual book or not, like the actual book. I think this is more like an advanced copy that is sent to like from a publisher to someone to maybe proofread.
Is it a first edition? Is it worth anything?
I don't think it's worth anything.
Well, I don't care.
So we got that, and there is another James Patterson book here. We got another James Patterson. This one is called Now You See Her Because a Good Wife and Mother Vanishes. And if you notice that James Patterson, I think most of his career,
hey, why don't we start putting books in that Lenny library, but sign it, act like the author signed it.
Mom, he likes to write co-author with
Yours truly,
Michael Ledwidge, and pretty much this is a woman who who escaped her past and now has to, face her past.
James the Jimmy Patterson.
So yeah, she has to confront her past and everything that comes with it type book. So yeah.
Everyone's got to confront their past.
Everyone's got to confront their past. The next one is Gina Lamanna, Pretty Guilty Women. 4 women, 4 confessions, 1 murder, and something has gone terribly wrong at the Banks wedding. A man is dead. 4 different women rush to offer confessions, each insisting that she committed the crime alone, and why would they confess to the same murder?
The name of the bank?
What?
What's the name of the bank?
What's the name of the bank? At the Banks wedding.
What banks?
At the bank, the name of the wedding, the Banks.
Oh, I thought it took place in a bank.
No, at the Banks wedding.
I was gonna say, do they name the bank?
Only they know, and they're not telling. So pretty much,
who cares? Keep it to themselves. I don't need to know.
So yeah, got that. And the last book is The Secrets of Onita Harbor by Patricia Christofouli.
Okay, that's just too many syllables there.
Pretty much there is something here with a medieval saint. Someone has to authenticate it.
Onita.
Onita? Yeah. And
Onita.
This is a book that I couldn't quite figure out if it was
Is there an actual Onita Harbor?
I don't think so.
No, I'm just curious.
This was a book that when I looked it up, I couldn't quite figure out if it was more like on the Christian side.
Oh, look at that, the timer. The timer for the camera. It's yawning.
Okay, so pretty much there's a relic that needs to be authenticated, and I think people try and stop the person from authenticating it or something of that nature.
Awful.
Historical objects.
I don't know. Give me a Stephen King book anytime.
I would love to get some Stephen King books. I gotta read some. And that's pretty much it.
Or Joe Hill. Yeah.
That is all the books that I have, and now
Anne Rice.
I probably should start reading Anne. I've never read Anne Rice.
She is.
Never.
No, she is She was wackadoodle. She was a wackadoodle.
I've never read Anne Rice.
Her books were so good, but she was really. Hers were really like, man, they made you open up your eyes. Like,
but yeah, like I said,
yeah, what's wrong with this woman?
So that is going to be it for my book haul. I'm not gonna buy any more books. I have too many books I have to get through.
Now in the next video, you're gonna read the book while you're filming. And then review it as you go along.
People actually do that. It's called a reading vlog.
Oh man, give me a bridge somewhere. Give me a bridge.
People actually do 24 readathons, 48-hour readathons.
Okay.
Reading
if I ever get a prisoner of war, that would be my torture, to be sitting there, have my eyes glued open, and have to see that. In chapter 1.
Okay, so that's gonna be it for us today. Hope Brother is doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for reviews.
She will review it, but she won't read it. Trust me, she'll just tell you everything, and then of course, spoiler alert. Duh.
No, so bye everybody.
Bye everybody.